In the beginning of the movie, a young girl in Lithuania starts to make a picture. Todd Burpo, a humble preacher, high school wrestling teacher, volunteer fireman, and handyman, is the first person we meet. He is putting in a garage door, and as money, he will take rugs. Todd's life isn't complicated, using an old car and living in a small town far away. Later, Todd goes to the fire station to see his other firemen. When he gets there, they all start making fun of his rugs. His friend Jay thinks that, since he isn't doing well financially, he should take money instead of things like carpets. He has 5 jobs, so he is always busy. Soon after he leaves the fire station, he goes to work as a coach at his high school. On his way home, he stops by a graveyard. He puts some flowers on a grave and then goes home. Hymns can be heard from far away as soon as he gets to his church property. Sonia, his wife, is training with some other band members. Todd's son Colton, who doesn't like the noise, goes outside to play to get ready for the next church service. He meets his. They talk, joke around, and even try to sound like a dog barking from afar. Burpo gets a call from the hospital almost right away. A couple from his church wants to pray with a preacher for their sick father. He goes to the hospital with Colton and prays for the man. Colton watches his father from a distance and plays with his father. Sonia is in bed telling Colton and Cassie stories and putting them to sleep while Todd kisses his son. Good night. Colton tells the sick man that he prayed for him. They went to see him in the hospital. When Sonia finds a case full of baby clothes, it makes her sad and she seems to remember something. She goes to the table room to talk with her husband. Even though money is tight for their family, Sonia knows that her husband is a good person. She makes fun of him by telling him not to bark like a dog. Next time, she's going to let him practice being whipped, and she's going to beat him like a dog. The next morning, Todd's family is at church, where Colton is singing in a group led by Sonia. As Todd and her daughter watch the crowd, he continues to speak about faith and courage using bedtime stories he heard as a child. The night before, he read to his kids. Todd tells the story of the lion, the bear, and the unicorn in the cave. Sonia goes up to Rosa after the service and gives her a beautiful dress for her baby. As Todd comes up to his friend, he tells him not to miss any of the baseball game. Todd trips and breaks his leg. While they wait for the paramedics, they help him right away. Even though he broke his leg, he still made it to the next service and even preached. But while he is teaching, he has a muscle cramp and screams in pain that his back hurts. Some people from his church and his wife rush to the hospital to help him. The doctor tells Todd that he has kidney stones again, which is why he had a pain. He says to take pills and a lot of them, so that the kidney stones can come out. The next morning, Jay goes to see his friends and runs into Sonia at the door. He and Colton then head to the park so they don't have to hear his father scream in pain. When Jay gets home, he hears Todd scream as he passes kidney stones. Even though they are in pain, they can still make jokes. The church decides to get another speaker to fill in for Todd because of the Burbs Health Challenge. However, not many people show up for the service, and the committee is worried about when Todd will be able to preach again. Mrs. Burpo, on the other hand, thinks that the family should take a short trip to Denver. Reluctantly, Todd is sure she is telling the truth when she says she will do something for him. In exchange, the family goes to Denver, where they all sing together. They even sing while driving. Will make you happy. It seems that Colton's favorite song is this one. They go to a butterfly and spider refuge when they get to Denver. One picture shows the family having a good time on vacation while eating with bugs. Cassie, Colton's sister, got a sticker for being able to hold a tarantula. Colton also wants a sticker, but he is too scared to hold the spider on the way home. After a few days, both Cassie and Colton get sick. Cassie's fever is gone, but Colton's is still getting higher. He is taken quickly to the hospital. Due to a burst appendix, doctors run tests and suggest that the patient have surgery right away. The Burpo is also told to be ready for the worst. Todd is in the hospital church while Sonia calls friends to ask for prayers for Colton, who is on the surgery table. Todd yells at God for putting him through so much pain and testing his faith by letting him take it, but now his son is going through the same thing. After what the doctors say happened, Colton makes it through the surgery by some miracle, and when he wakes up, he tells his dad that he is no longer afraid of anything and wants to hold the spider. So Todd and Colton went back to Denver to do that, and Colton was even given a sticker to put on his car. Sonia asks Todd how the trip went, and he tells her what Colton said. The bills keep coming in. Sonia is very worried. So, they fight about which bills should be paid first. Colton is listening and says that they have to pay the doctor because he saw him save his life while he was being put to bed. Cassie tells her dad that her brother is weird because he says that Jesus has a horse. When he asks about Jesus' horse and what color it was, the man describes it as if he had seen it, which is how he knows he was in. Todd Pillow tells his wife that his son said he had been to heaven. But Sonia isn't impressed by Colton's claims that he has a great mind, so she goes to bed the next day. Burpo takes his son out for a drink so that his son can find out more about what he did in heaven. Colton says frankly that he was alone and not scared, and that he saw the church door, opened it, and saw something wonderful. Angels singing. He even asked them to perform We Will Rock You. He also says that Jesus came up to them and asked if he knew who he was and if he was scared. He said he wasn't scared because no one wanted to hurt him. After that, Jesus took Colton by the hand and led him to meet some other people. Todd Burb chooses to talk to Dr. Slater about what's going on with his son. Dr. Slater isn't much of a fan, though, and he says that some people in hard situations end up listen or find peace to deal with being upset that Todd is leaving. But before he left, he asked the doctor a meaningless question about what happens when someone sees something strange or makes no sense. He wasn't happy with the answers he got. Todd goes to Jay's job to see him. He tells him about Colton's claim that he died and went to heaven before Jay could help him. They get a call about something that is going on. Todd doesn't know what to preach the next Sunday, so Jay tells him to talk from his heart, like he always does. The next Sunday, he tries a different way to teach and then asks if anyone has any questions. The community asks Todd a lot of questions about his son and what happened to him. He tells them that Colton went to heaven while he was in the theater, but no one seems to believe him because Colton didn't die. Burpo and his wife are relaxing on top of a fire truck while he drinks a Coke. While the kids play inside the car, Todd gets a call from a reporter who wants to talk to him. Sonia doesn't seem to like the idea of Colton telling her about his life. But the reporter comes to see them and starts asking Colton questions about heaven, which makes his mother angry. Sonia Colton even gives us new information by saying that Jesus' feet and hands had marks on them. Colton could tell that the writer and other people didn't believe him, but he hopes that his dad does. When Todd lets the reporter take a picture of him and Colton, Sonia is upset. The next morning, the newspaper prints Colton's story, which makes the church group even more worried about Todd's situation. Nancy calls Jay, and the two of them set up a meeting to talk about what to do next with Todd's. Some of his other fire mentees, including Todd, were at the cafe. Cassie beats up two boys after they picked on her because of what Colton said, and the teacher calls the parents to tell them what happened. But when Todd finds out that she did it because they were making fun of his brother because he couldn't sleep, he is happy. Todd goes to the rooms of the kids and talks with Colton about heaven. Todd has asked him what Jesus looks like, but he can't say. We find out that Jesus doesn't look like he does in the Bible and books, and that his eyes are a bluish-green color. Sonia and Todd talk the next morning, but it's clear that she still doesn't believe what his son said. Burpo gets a call about a fire and leaves. Colton has a memory flash of when he went to heaven. He is seen sitting on Jesus' lap and meets a young girl who can't stop hugging her. That night, Todd and his wife go on a date. They talk about their money, and his wife tells him that the church group is worried and would like to meet with him to talk. Todd is with the church group at the meeting. As church members lose faith in him, they are also interested in what will happen with the church's trip to heaven with Colton. A lot of people have been upset by claims. Nancy says that the whole story sounds like a fairy tale, and that the ideas of heaven and hell are just ways to control and scare people. Todd gets a week to relax and heal after the. Todd takes his son with him to the hospital to pay part of the bill and asks for more time to pay the rest. Colton goes to the rooms and tells his father that he needs to tell them something. He goes up to a weak young boy and tells him it's okay and no one will ever hurt him in heaven. Todd is now even more confused about his son, so he chooses to look into people who have come close to dying. Sonia is sad to find out that her husband is crazy about Colton's. Since it's what kept him up all night and is making their family unhappy, it's clear that it's a problem. Colton goes with Todd to the funeral of the guy they saved from his house on fire. He remembers the funeral of his friend's son, who was killed on the job. Colton tells his dad that he met Todd's grandfather in heaven and that he is a nice man at home while they are walking through the graveyard. Todd shows his son a picture of Pop and asks if it's the man he saw in heaven. Colton says that no one in heaven wears glasses or is old. Todd gets a picture of his grandpa when he was a kid and didn't wear glasses. Colton says that he is the man he met in heaven. Todd tells his wife afterward that Colton saw his. But, Dad, Sonia is a strong woman. Still, she doesn't believe what Colton says, upsetting Todd. Todd goes to church at night and asks God to help him in the morning. Todd goes to see Nancy's son Jacob's grave so he can put flowers on his headstone. When Nancy and Todd talk, she is shocked to find out that Todd, not Jay, always put flowers on his son's grave. She is upset with herself because she was rude to Todd at the committee meeting the day before. She admits, though, that she wasn't mad at Todd nor his son but at God for letting his son die while Todd's son gets to live and come see her. Todd tries to make her feel better by telling her that God loves everyone the same and that he loves her son just as much as he loves his son back at home. Colton tells his mom that he didn't know he had another sister and that she saw her in heaven. Colton tells Sonia that her baby died in her tummy, which he wouldn't know unless he went to heaven and met her. Sonia is confused and breaks down in tears at the news. She asked for more information about the other girl, and he told her that she looks like Cassie and has the same hair as her mom. This turns out to be the missing piece that proves Colton was in heaven, and Sonia finally believes it too. Then, Todd gets a call from someone who wants to know if his son really saw Jesus. He invites them to his church the next Sunday. On that Sunday, the church is full of followers and reporters who all want to hear straight from the source. Once again, Todd can teach from his heart, like he used to do before Colton got sick. He makes his points clear through Colton's experiences and ties them to people's everyday lives, including a number of. He says that God broke him down and gave him a heart that could love, and that God is always there for anyone who feels alone. The service moves everyone in the church. Colton sees heaven again, and Nancy gets to see her son smiling in heaven. Later, Todd is online and watches a video of a girl drawing a picture of a man's face. She had the same thing happen in heaven as his son. When Colton sees the picture the little girl made of Jesus, he is shocked and agrees that it is Jesus. Sonia then grabs her husband's hand and leads him out to the field while holding a baby's sweater. She tells him she is pregnant. They kiss and hug because they are happy. Then, in her drawing, we learn more about the girl in the picture. We saw a girl paint a picture of Jesus as she saw him in heaven.